So, in the week and a half since the election, I've been hearing a lot of people in comment sections, some videos on here, on podcasts, things like that, saying they're not going to vote for Joe Biden because he's too old, but they can't stand Donald Trump, so they're going to vote third party. Now, I've done multiple videos on this, but I want to do it again. A vote for a third party candidate is a vote for whichever candidate you do not want to win. Now, what do I mean? Well, let's take any state. Because we have the Electoral College, for basically how the state would run its election, with the exception of two, is all of the electors go to whoever got the most votes in that state. So to pick any state you want, because it would work basically the same way. And if Joe Biden gets 49% of the vote, Donald Trump gets 48% of the vote, 3% vote third party. Joe Biden wins. Flip it around. Donald Trump gets 49, Joe Biden gets 48, 3% vote third party. Donald Trump wins. But if those 3%, if they were all unified against one candidate, which they could flip the election, if even half of them voted in favor of one candidate or the other, they would flip the election in that scenario from one candidate to the other, either which way. So when I say you are voting against whichever candidate you absolutely do not want to win, that is what I mean. If you think you're doing something with a protest vote, they're not paying attention. All they care about is the final tally, the final result. They may notice something if they lose, in a particularly safe state or something like that, but it's not going to send the message you think. The other thing, and I've talked about this before, if let's just say RFK Jr. or Jill Stein do become president, they have no support in Congress. There is not a single member of the Green Party in Congress. Yes, there are some independents, but those either caucus with Republicans or Democrats. There are no true independents in Congress. So, if either of them would become president, let's just say miracle of miracles, they have no support in Congress to pass anything. If they need anything done, they would have to go to one side or the other, probably make a deal and sell the farm and give up a whole bunch of stuff that party wants done in order to get any of their political agenda done. Now, with some parties, that wouldn't be necessarily a bad thing. The Democrats would probably give, a bunch because the Green Party is for like green energy, things like that. So maybe not a bad idea. But the fact is they don't have support in Congress to get their agenda passed. Whereas if you give Joe Biden the presidency, the the House and the Senate, he can turn to his aides in Congress and say, "Hey, let's work on getting this done." One of the members of his party can introduce a bill. It gets the ball rolling. Things get started. Things can get done. That doesn't happen when you have a third party in the White House and no support in Congress. Now, I think there's going to be room for a third party after 2024. We can start getting third party people elected in some of these seats. And maybe you start building their support that way. But as of right now, with them having no support in Congress and really not a path to win the presidency, a vote for a third party is a vote for the person you absolutely do not want to win.